All right, we've got our last session of the evening. So we've talked about marketing, we've talked about sales, we've talked about customer success. If you're really going to be successful, you need to bring all of those together, and you have to do that with an integrated tech stack. So to talk to you about how to make that happen is Connor Jeffers, the CEO of Aptitude 8.
We're going to go quick so that we can get you fed, which is what you were promised. So we'll do this quickly, I promise. Do I have to do anything to get this going? There we go. I need like a training course from the people who already did multi-click. It's on. It's on. We can wing it too. It's all good. We can just do stand up. We're getting IT support. I can try to hit next? Or do you want me to not? Sweet. Okay. What's up? I won't do a super long intro. I'm Connor. I'm the CEO of Aptitude. We are a 70-person consulting partner. We focus on the HubSpot platform. We help people build really cool stuff. We're super excited to be here with everybody. Okay, so I'm going to breeze through this also, but what we were talking about today and what I want to talk to you guys about is the importance of a unified tech stack. You saw a bunch of people come up here and talk about their tooling, their products, their technologies, how they help people accomplish their goals. But really, when we think about this, is it's not just what each one of these tools do, but how they actually come together and work harmoniously to deliver the outcome that you're trying to achieve. We're going to talk a little bit about HubSpot and how HubSpot's changed, and I think I have a very unique perspective on that I'll share also. We'll talk very briefly about AI. It's going to be so short. We almost got to the end of this today without talking about AI for the first time. So we're going to do that very quickly, and then we'll talk a little bit about how all of that comes together, maybe, if we advance. Nice. Okay. How many of you are Salesforce customers? I know some people already came in. I see some hands. This feels like, when I do these events, sort of the like, how many of you have been personally victimized by Regina George question. And the reality is, people think, especially for folks that I haven't spent that much time with, that I've always been a HubSpot diehard. I've always been embroiled in the ecosystem. I've always been a HubSpot-focused tool for HubSpot-focused problems. But what surprises people, maybe, is that I used to be a Salesforce guy. That was the beginning of my career. To this day, Salesforce is still my most technical skill set. I can build anything. I can write Apex code. I can make things happen. And the reason is, in the beginning, there was a lot of work to be done in moving blocks around and trying to get the whole machine to work. I was a top freelancer on Upwork, and I was working with companies, and I would get folks all the time, and they come in and say, I do not have budget to hire a consulting partner, or I hired this consulting partner, and it went horribly wrong, and I just need this fixed, and I can't afford it. And I, for the low, low price of $100 an hour 5 years ago, would jump on a call with you and fix all of your problems. And the reason I did that is that there is a lot of money in stacking blocks. And companies today are hiring big RevOps teams, they're hiring consulting firms, they're coming to events like this to try to figure out how to make their tech stack work. And the reason is that getting all of these blocks to stack correctly is extremely hard. And it means that you're missing data, your tools don't work together, and you're constantly swapping things in and out of your tech stack every renewal cycle. And the reason is because everybody knows the big picture here, that they need an integrated stack. They need their technology to work together. And what they want and what they struggle with is that they need this unified picture and they just can't get it. And they're frustrated and they bring in a new leader. They bring in a new consulting firm. They tell you, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and I cycled through 3 VPs of marketing just so that somebody can tell me whether or not the things we're spending money on are actually working. And the reason is that None of their tools talk together, and that's moving right now from what's become a nice to have and the most innovative companies are making it happen to something that's an expectation of every customer we work with. And this is where we get to the AI story. But as we get to see that more, the expectation rises, and we start seeing that expectation is universal for customers, and there is no more forgiveness for, well, I'm working with Amazon and they know what's going on and the small SMB maybe doesn't. If you do not have the ability to deliver a unified customer experience, your customer is frustrated. What happened while I was doing that really changed? So Aptitude 8 is about 5 years old. At the beginning of this company, HubSpot was a marketing tool that just started having some sales functionality, and that's changed so much. We've watched HubSpot evolve in the last 5 years from being a marketing technology company that does some sales stuff to really a full CRM platform company. And the way that they've approached it has shifted me from really being a Salesforce-focused guy and originally starting saying, we're going to build a RevOps company, to pivoting to, I think we're building a HubSpot consulting firm. And the reason is that we really believe and we're seeing that customers that are able to build on this stack get better outcomes and they spend less money stacking everything together. What I hear in market when I talk to investors that are looking at investing in the HubSpot ecosystem is they're like, well, where is this going and what's the size of the customer and how much are they spending? Because we see people buying 18-month or 24-month Salesforce projects and spending $500,000 on them. Like, will we ever get there in the HubSpot side? And I think that they look at that as a scale challenge, but what it actually is it's that it is easier to get things done in this stack, which changes how we run our business. But what it means for customers is that they are able to deliver a better experience at a lower cost faster. Okay, let's talk about HubSpot at the core. So if you are building your business and you're building a business and you're running it on top of HubSpot as your core platform, where we're going, and I'm not going to talk about this a whole bunch because if you paid any attention in the last year, you've already heard this whole story. But the future of AI is agents, and agents are automated AI-powered workers that can go and get things done in your organization. HubSpot launched a couple inbound this year. Salesforce was talking about Agentforce at Dreamforce this year. The basics of an agent is you can have a tool that says, hey, anytime we get a new form fill, research that customer, reach out to them, try to book a meeting. That's an agent, and those can kind of exist all throughout the entirety of your business. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about it. Agents of the future, everyone's talking about it, everyone's excited. It's probably a bubble, we'll see what happens. But it is gonna happen. We might be early, we might be seeing all of the gains driving to NVIDIA, but it is going to happen. And what that means is that if you have unified data, if your stack is unified, it's integrated, and it's organized, and when we get there, and even if you don't believe it's today, we will get there. And I think it'll be sooner than most people realize. Maybe not as much as the analysts are betting on, but what will happen when we get there is that those that have unified data and those that have that data organized will immediately achieve better outcomes. And the reason is because those agents can only use the data that they have access to. And when you're looking at all of these platforms that are building AI tools, those AI tools are only as valuable as the information they have. It's why when Clay came up here today and talked about getting all this data from all these different data sources, unifying your technology stack now means that as soon as you have access to those agents, you can deploy them against any particular use case because they have all of the information they need to be successful. Pointing is key. Okay, so integrated CRM means AI-ready advantage. Even if you do not believe that the AI tools are there, everyone up here said, hey, it's really good for support, but John's saying we're seeing some of those early sprouts. As soon as those sprouts grow and bloom, you are immediately ready to thrive in that environment, and the investments you make now will translate to real meaningful value in the future. But even unified platforms have gaps. I don't want to sell anyone any idea that you're going to go and buy HubSpot, you're going to get it set up, and everything you need is all going to be done in one platform. It's not going to happen. It's not true. That's not true of any technology under the sun. So, in the old world, that was fine. You had a very linear customer experience. You had the customer experience start with one technology system, right? You're doing your marketing. And by the way, most organizations, anyone who raised their hand that's on a Salesforce stack, this is how you work For most people, this is how they have everything set up. It is you start on the marketing side, you go and you attract a customer, you build your landing page tool, someone fills out a form, and then you send that data into the CRM. You get your sales users up and running with it. They go and sell that customer, they get it going, they land that deal, they get a signature, they send them the onboarding plan, and then they go and kick that over to the ERP and they say, finance, go and bill this person. And finance is trying to scrape it all together. And I'm not going to regale you with all of the reasons that this is really hard, but in this old world where you had a really linear experience and handoffs between each system, it's okay because you're making sure that the data that you need downstream is getting passed across to each individual change. Unfortunately, that's not how things work anymore. And we now have this very connected customer journey. We have a customer journey that does not move linear through our business. It means that customers interact with and connect with people throughout their life cycle and even bounce all the way across. The number one thing that we see when we talk to organizations that have something in this very linear model set up is this works great as long as they've never bought from me before. They go through and they talk to my sales team. They buy the one package that we sell and then we bill them. It's fantastic. But when they come back and they're like, well, we've worked with you before, but previously we talked to this sales rep and now I'm being bounced over here and I'm a renewal customer and I'm frustrated. It's horrible. And so in this new world, you cannot have this linear systems journey because it means that your customers are getting boxed into each one of those handoffs, and the only information getting across is what someone previously decided should be communicated. New world, old strategy, bad time, your blocks fall over. And everyone in the bar looks over because you knocked over the whole Jenga tower. So, filling those gaps in that tower, right? How you do this matters. When you're looking at technologies, when you're looking at tools, when you're looking at ways to solve the problems you have, what you really want to think about is if you are a CRM-led company, which I would contend every single B2B SaaS organization ultimately is. If you have a sales team, if you sell to other companies, your business is probably built on and around your CRM. And you have your core product that you sell in market, and you have the CRM product that powers the entirety of your business. If you are CRM first, that means every other technology that you shop for that helps your company succeed should be prioritized based on how effectively it works with that secondary product that runs your whole company. Hint. Like some people you saw today. Arrows and PandaDoc have both built products that are CRM first. They've built products that are designed to work with HubSpot. They're not looking at this as just building integrations. They're building deeply into the product. So they've already shown a bunch of these screens. I think we went and grabbed some, so they showed you better ones earlier. But integrations are not property syncing. You'll go and you'll look at whether it's the HubSpot Marketplace, the Salesforce App Exchange, and you will see thousands and thousands and thousands of products. The vast majority of those products are not apps designed for that CRM. They are products that do something completely different, and they're going to sync a couple of fields back and forth. And that is not integration. That doesn't solve your gaps. In fact, it just adds more of that block stacking and makes it harder to maintain your overall system. Real integrations provide interoperability, which means that it actually works in tandem with the entirety of your CRM infrastructure. And so your CRM actually becomes capable of more stuff because you've installed these tools instead of just getting some information from somewhere else. And so when you think about what you're going to build and install, these experiences of being able to surface that information and surface the way to interact with that application straight in your CRM is not just oh, wow, their integration's great. It means you get real interoperability, and it means all of the things that HubSpot's focusing on today with things like workflows and CRM cards and everything else, tomorrow with fully operational agents that are able to go and use these tools as if they were the human agents working in your organization means that they're empowered to get way more done. But not everything that you're going to need or that you're going to work with is built for HubSpot. And that's really what we focus on. So this is the shameless plug portion of this talk. But that's where we come in. That's what we do for organizations all of the time, is that we come in and we work with those organizations and we understand what is the technology footprint that you have, how is that technology footprint designed to work with your business. And what gets me so excited, not only for our organization of what we've seen with HubSpot, but really where the ecosystem is going next, is that you can build really awesome stuff. And these are not just applications that are integrated with HubSpot. We're going and building custom interfaces for people to work with and connect to their ERP, custom applications that extend to the CRM beyond where it's actually at. And what I would really encourage people to do is that if you have workflows, if you have experiences that you're trying to create for your teams, and you have other systems in your stack, really focus on how can we extend the CRM into other parts of our business, and how can we build applications on top of the system that ultimately runs the whole company to be able to make it something that can deliver those experiences for our internal users, which ultimately translates to delivering incredible customer experiences. So we talk about this all the time as HubSpot and. If HubSpot is the core of your business, if CRM is the core of your business, you really need to be thinking about how does HubSpot work with all of these things, and that needs to be in your purchasing processes. It needs to be in how you think about your workflows, really designing for a CRM-centric business, and really focusing on products and technologies that will extend what your CRM platform is capable of instead of just patching something that isn't already there. I'm not going to do a Q&A for you. I will hang out after here. I'm happy to do, what do we got? We are at 7:05. I have a little bit of time. If people have, I'm going to look for hands right now. I'm also just happy to let people eat. Cool. If you have any questions for me, please come and ask me anything. I'm hanging out for the hors d'oeuvres, and we'll get some people fed. And thank you guys so much for coming today. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. And thank you to Arrows and PandaDoc and Clay and everybody who helped us put this whole event on. That's it.